just tuning in, we're BAP podcast, Blacks in Conversation. We've talked about so much today, but we're digging into Ed Gordon's book, Conversation in Black. And here's another question that he asked. Now, this is in the chapter, Some Things Make Change, Other Things Just Make Noise. This is a question that he asks. How can we heal the broken relationship between law enforcement and the black community? Story, and this just happened. It happened after all the stuff with killings and stuff. And it was just when I was seeing how these cops were having these interactions with drivers on the road. To some degree, those stories seem outlandish when we look at them. Like, are you serious? Yeah. But I was driving home one night late. It was after midnight. Got off real late, and it's a road that I take that gets me there quicker, but it's dark after a certain hour. So the cop came and pulled me over. I didn't even know. I think it was a brake light or something that was out or something like that. But this is what he did. He came to the car and immediately said, "Step out the car."
Oh, right away. Oh.
That's the first thing that came out of his mouth. Oh. So when I'm in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm by myself now. We on this dark road. If something go down, ain't nobody gonna know. And it's gonna be his word. It ain't even gonna be his word against mine because he gonna handle it. So ain't nobody else got no word. Yeah. He can say whatever he want. So I stepped out the car. So I didn't resist. So I said, okay, let me get out the car. And when I get out the car, come behind the car. So he wants me to stand behind.
Away from the camera.
Wait, whatever. Maybe. I couldn't fathom that at the time. But he said, come stand behind the car, which was behind my truck in front of his headlights.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The camera would have caught him.
Yeah. That's probably why he said that, too. He wanted to make sure he put this on record or, something like that. But anyway, go ahead.
And literally wrote a ticket for whatever it was, got back in his car, gave me a sticker, gave me some speech or whatever, and that was it. Why did
he step out the car? You a big black man.
You made somebody's
speech. What was the context of the speech?
That is scary. I'm sorry, black man. I love y'all.
You gotta keep this up on your car. This, the whole little thing. All that kind of. As if you gotta tell somebody how to maintain their stuff. You know what I mean?
Feel more powerful over you.
Absolutely. But I've even
you pull me over. Tell me to step out of my vehicle without any type of probable cause.
No probable cause.
Right? I mean, I understand your safety, but there was nothing you did to where you showed that his safety was at jeopardy.
But could he possibly have encountered maybe somebody who did pull a gun out of him at some point?
Possibly, because it's almost like he wanted me to stand behind the car because he wanted me to be in his eyesight. Or like you say, I didn't know there's a camera on the front. Okay, maybe that's why too.
And they supposed to have body cam as well.
But this is my biggest thing with police. I think we just need more police of color in the community as well. We need more people. We need more police that's from the community.
Yes. They used to be that. It used to be that way.
We need more officers, and I agree with you 100%. The law enforcement wasn't designed to protect us. I have I don't want to call him a close friend, but an acquaintance or whatever. He works for DPD, and we had bumped into each other at a bar, and we was talking, just catching up. And I'm not gonna say his name, but he was telling me like a lot of their requirements of being a DPD officer is ridiculous because they have a quota to where they have to have
certain tickets written and all that.
Certain tickets written and certain arrests. So he keeps saying I think he said one time he was in a briefing and his boss pretty much was like, hey. I can't remember verbatim, but I'm just gonna say this. This is basically what it was. He was like, my boss basically said, I need you to arrest 5 people. Pretty much. And he said it could have been for anything. You could have had a broken tail light. Normally he probably would have wrote you a ticket, but just because his boss said we need 5 arrests within this weekend.
It don't even matter what you did.
It don't matter what you did.
I swear I'm off my people, but let me just say something because I'm so happy we talking about this because on my daughter's birthday, which is November 2nd, I was pulled over out in Livonia, but I was in my mom's car. And it just so happened she didn't have insurance or couldn't prove it at the time, so he took the car. Okay? But here's the thing. My biggest thing is that with my people, if we was legit, if we had our stuff in order, they can't do nothing but write the ticket. Everybody, they know, listen, because Hazel Park is another one that's, like she said, like East Point. If you riding legit, the thing is, they know that when they pull you over, oh, he ain't got no, he's suspended. His license suspended. I know it is.
Well,
she ain't got no insurance. So they do it on purpose. If we had our stuff together, all they can do is write a ticket. Let's be real.
There are a lot of people that do it, and they still.
All they can do is write a ticket.
And they still. I'm one of them.
Let me share my story. Let me share my story.
Wait, he said he took him to jail for not having a tail light. That's unheard of. I never heard of something like that.
No, I'm not saying that situation actually. That's an example, but he was basically saying like, yo, my boss basically said, yo,
this is what I need.
We need arrest. So he basically said to me, Twon, if my boss is telling me that I need to have 5 arrests by Sunday afternoon and it's Friday evening,
I got it.
No matter what this person did,
it can't be no matter what. It can't be no matter what.
It is no.
See, we need retained lawyers.
Listen. It doesn't matter what it is. Like if he was speeding and he only went 5 over, but he has a warrant in another city.
Why do he have a warrant? That's what my thing is. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is get your stuff together. That's all I'm saying.
But we don't live in a perfect world. So it's like you can't put that get your stuff together on everybody. Like everybody has something, whether it's law related, bills related, whatever the case may be. Somebody has something. So it's just being cautious and being aware of the situation. But then and going back on the police side of things. Like I said, we need more officers, and we need to fix the justice system within the judicial system and just amongst police as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a shame that I have to hear something like that. Like I shouldn't have to hear
that's crazy.
Your boss is telling you like
you gotta have 5 arrests.
You have to have 5 arrests, and if no one's committing a serious crime that weekend, that's really worth an arrest. You're just arresting people for no reason.
But it's not really. It's a money game.
It's a money game, but it's you're arresting people for no reason just so you can
to another extent. I mean, we got so many layers on that side, but on a municipality end, pay these cops something worthy because these cops make pennies.
Yes.
So what happens is I don't like this community anyway. I don't like these. So I'm coming in first of all with anger because I don't even get paid enough to be out here endangering my life.
Pay these cops and pay these teachers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's the only way they really gonna take their job serious. And I realized that when I was in high school myself because I knew teachers didn't make a lot, and that's why that's the way they act the way they do. Same with law enforcement. I look at teachers and law enforcement the same.
Hand in hand.
And that's my personal view of it. I think they're the same. Teachers are the police of schools. Law enforcement is the police of life. They are. They're not supposed to be. That's not their job at all. But they are the police of schools, and law enforcement is the police of life.
Well,
they act like that because I feel like they act like that just because they're underpaid. They don't have all of the benefits that they, like how teachers used to have back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different factors. So when you don't have all of these things, you start to look at your job like, well, shoot, like I'm just going, excuse my French, but half-assed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not getting everything.
I mean, that whole aspect of profiling is serious. I remember I got my first Benz, and it was a used one. Some years ago, I was living out south at this time, and I'm driving home at night, and I'm cautious. I was like, all right, it's 35. I'm doing 33. And all of a sudden, in my rear view, I see this police officer. I mean, he's following me. It felt like half a mile. I'm going through the blocks in the community, or whatever the case may be.
Running your plate, shaking me out.
Yeah, exactly. So he pulls me over, says to me, "Don't even ask my license. Who car is this?"
What?
Oh no,
what?
He did not.
So now he's profiling.
Of course, he looked like
that happened to me one time.
Get out of
here. Didn't even ask. He never asked my license.
Did you flash that registration on him?
I showed it. He said,
"Flash that mug." That's the best feeling. Just hood fabulous with that. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got real indignant in this house.
When I first got my car, it was I was on my way to the radio station. It was my first. It was like a week. Literally, legit, like that Monday, like a week later, I got my car. Driving up Jefferson, I get pulled over, and that's what's up. My story is kind of like that. It's not as deep as y'all's, but driving up Jefferson, I'm doing 40. So, but I don't listen. They got speed. They got signs. Look. They got signs up there now, but at the time they didn't have speed limit signs. So I'm doing 40, and I get pulled over. And the officer, you know, did license and registration. And he was like, he asked me, he was like, "Is this your vehicle?" And then I was like, "Yeah, this is my vehicle." So then he was like, "You know why I pulled you over?" I was like, "No, why?" He was like, "You were speeding." I was like, "I was doing 40." And then like his then he said he's like, "Speed limit is 30." His partner was on my passenger side, and his partner said, "Technically the speed limit is 35." So I'm like, y'all don't even know the speed limit. Why are y'all pulling me over? Law enforcement has to do better on so many levels.
Like you said, pay them some money and they'll get off your back.
But not even just the paying some money. Yes, give them their money that they deserve. But these officers have to understand. I understand that you have a job to where your life is at risk at all times. I completely understand. But it's all about, if you're going to be an officer, you have to have the skill of reading individuals and knowing situations.
You gotta know your beat.
And really knowing a situation.
You gotta know your beat. You know, they have different beats.
And you gotta have some boundaries. Because when I think about, I don't even know the guy's name, who whooped that woman like a man on the street in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
The cop in the hospital?
He
was a security, was he a security guard?
No, he was an
officer.
And he whooped on her like she was a dude in the street. This naked... I think she was a homeless woman, but she was in the hospital. She was out of sorts, but there has to be training on how to deal with those situations. Yeah. But he went on, but you know what? That aggression was probably from something that had nothing to do with her.
Yep.
So that means that not only do we got to pay these cops more, but we got to have some systems in place where they can deal with their anger, emotional issues, their mental anguish, the things that they're dealing with. Yeah. Because they come to work and they take it out on the citizens. And it's not fair to us.
And maybe they should offer that. Like
mental health is, that's got to be, imperative, especially even in high risk situations like that.
Yes.
Even with teachers, so especially me being a teacher, you wear all the hats.
Yeah.
You psychologist, sometimes psychiatrist.
Right.
Counselor, you the father, you the teacher.
The teacher, all of it.
Maybe that should be a part of the academy. They should throw in a course where X amount of hours they have to go and take a like a psychology course. You know what I mean? Just so you can at least get the feel of the human brain and what this person may have went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to say to my black men, I'm sorry, y'all, because I've never had a negative encounter with the law.
Wow.
And it's like to hear stories, especially like what you hear on the news with people dying and what you were saying, is to hear it. It's like, wow, you know what I mean? Especially when it's people that you can touch. It's one thing when it's on the news, you're like, oh, that happened, you sad, oh my God, and then it's like you're going about your life. But when it's affecting people that you know, it's surreal. It's like,
I never have issues in it.
I really think it all boils down to how that officer feeling, what that officer has been through. It's like a lot of times when it comes to our race, certain individuals give them the perspective or perception of us. You know what I mean? That's just like foreigners. Right? I know I have a friend who's Chinese. When she came to this country, she had this negative thought about black women. But that's only because her cousin, who was already here, had a negative experience with a black person. So, of course, she told her, like, yeah, watch out for them. But that's only because of that one person that her cousin had an experience with until she met... I guess they probably had a misunderstanding. The black woman probably was passionate and was telling her about herself.
She stole my bundle.
So when she got here, no stop. So when my friend got here,
my Peruvian.
Anyway, so when my friend got here,
the movie said, "Hurry up and buy."
You don't remember that?
Oh my God.
No, but seriously, so when she got here, guys, she realized that we not what they thought we was. Especially her having a friend who she can kind of see the inside of my life and be like, wow, like I didn't know that y'all did da. You like, why you don't know because you never had that experience. You going off of what somebody else told you, and that's what a lot of races do to us.
Oh, absolutely.
All they do is know what they saw on TV. That's why I really
mad in the mud, all in the aisleway.
That's why I do not like when our black women carry themselves a certain type of way. Because it's like y'all even though I know you didn't ask to represent our race, but when you step out and you put certain stuff on social media, you represent the whole culture because it's our fault that we was put in the spotlight of black people. I said that to say I know, just like you said earlier, celebrities don't ask to be role models. It just happened by default. us as black women and men don't ask to be the person who has to represent a whole race, but it happens because, like I just said, my friend didn't even know nothing. She didn't have nothing. All she knows is her cousin told her that this one black girl cussed her out, so now she is done with the entire race.
But how many other races do that though?
All of them.
To black people.
All of them.
But how many do? What do we do to other races? We don't do that to other races.
Nothing. Mine are being
and I'm very sure you've been done wrong by so many white people before you've been done by a black person. Done wrong by a black person because of the encounter with them.
So you know what I mean? Like, and they still hating us, and we still giving them chances. You know what I'm saying?
What y'all got to say on that? What y'all think?
Huh?
What y'all think? Well, I want to hear everybody.
What was the question again?
I'm not a
So
basically,
we say stuff about other ethnicities as well,
and not them just having a perception about us.
So we have, like, you're basically saying, like, we have our own perception of other
But we don't do it as a whole. I mean, it's not magnified as much as they do for us.
No, it's not magnified, but does it still make it okay?
No. I'll give you this example. We have 45, because I don't say his name, in the audience.
Thank you.
Crazy as all get out. But if a white person go over to China, they are not looked at crazy. But you can go put somebody out there that, and I hate to use Cardi, but I like her. But say we got Cardi B. They gonna judge us based off of Cardi B. They not judging the white person based off of 45.
Right.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I really can't speak too much on that because I've never been to China as a black man.
No.
They just called Trump.
She just speaking hypothetical. She not saying no. You just hit it right on. You just hit it right there. Right there. They using one person like a Cardi B to judge our entire race.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think.
But they're not using number 45 when the crazy stuff he doing and how he is, or any other person like him to judge their race.
See, that's I don't think that.
Guess what they use? Oh, they so smart. They so this, they so that.
I hear y'all. I just don't. I don't think that.
We could really go on and on. We literally been talking for an hour and a half.
Really?
But this is a subject we will definitely continue.
Yeah, definitely had to contribute this one for MLK for sure. We have to go there because it's necessary.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Eddie, give us some doctor's orders. Wrap this up for us. Give us something to put our perspective on.
Well, yeah, I think the powerful conversation that we had today, Bon Appetit, we gave a lot of food for thought.
Amen.
And I think what we have to do is share this conversation with others. We have to, engage in courageous conversations beyond just, what somebody's wearing and what celebrity had this, that, and the other. How do we build? How do we come together? How do we connect? And how do we develop? Because, quote suggests you can always see a lot of fathers stand on the shoulders of giants. You think about Martin, Malcolm, Medgar, Mandela, Rosa, Fannie Lou Hamer, and all those other giants who came before us. So much so that a lot of times we lose the strength of what they fought for to give us because we don't see that we have anything else left to fight for. And so not having a privilege or entitled mindset, but saying, hey, you know what, there's something this brother can do, there's something this sister can do. How can I network? How can I build? Rather than networking up, let's network across. Let's think about the gifts and the talents that we have and employ it and implement it. This is our time to rise and our time to shine. 2020, we got to do something.
I like that. I agree with that one. I think that's a good one because now I'm so over the whole race thing and what we don't have and what we're not doing. Now we can do it. Pick up a book, read it. Go do your research. Anything ending in .gov can teach you something. It's because we live in America.
Like our parents say, they always said they put things in a book because they think a Negro not gonna read it.
And they sad truth though. It's the sad truth. That's
all this information is in books.
It's definitely there.
All
definitely there. It's definitely there. You
and
can go start a business right now.
They don't expect us to go pick one up. So pick it up, read it, and gain as much knowledge as you can.
Turning your vision into action.
Wow. Oh, we got an Audible?
Yeah, I got.
I'm an Audible person.
Audible, hard copy. Vision without action is a hallucination.
Eddie is so inspiring.
Yeah. 2020 vision.
Vision without action is a hallucination.
Wow.
Vision without action is a hallucination.
That's exactly
wow.
What hallucination
legit.
Got that and more gems and jewels in the book. Pick it up.
I'm sorry.
All the rhymes and all the.
Really rhymes.
I'm definitely gonna have a millennial moment and use that as a caption.
But just shout me out. Just shout me out.
No, let's do that. Let's do it in our our group picture. We take our picture, then we gonna put this.
We gotta end this show.
Okay, we gotta
shout out everybody's socials and stuff.
Thank you. So you want to go again? Okay. Thank you, Tanya Parker, Karen Gamble. We got so many. Thank you all, everyone that has joined us tonight. We'll be back real soon. Anybody else want to shout out?
I want to shout out my beautiful children. I want to shout out my daughter for becoming a young entrepreneur. She's making sales, doing good. And everybody follow the Instagram Girly Girl 2020, Girly Girl _ 2020, and check us out.
All right.
Shout outs to everybody that's been tuning in. A lot of family and friends. A lot of just supporters of what I've been having going on. All been tuning in. Thank you all. Shout out to my moms. She tuning in right now. Shout out to everybody. Yeah, she's right there.
Yeah, Mama on IG. Look at that.
I blocked Mama.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for supporting, and just stay tuned.
All right, more to come. Check us out on Instagram, Bon Appetit Pod. That's Bon Appetit POD. Until next time, thank you all for joining us. Until next time, Bon Appetit.
Bon Appetit.
Peace.
Peace.